The Kansas eviction notice. What is an eviction notice? Eviction notice, or notice to quit, is a letter sent by the landlord to the tenant notifying them that they should either take or stop a certain action or vacate the rented premises. Eviction notice can be of two types. Conditional, when a tenant is given time to remedy the breach of the lease, or unconditional, when a landlord terminates the lease without any alternative options for a tenant. What should an eviction notice include? Information about the tenant and the landlord. The reason for sending the notice. The date by which the tenant should take or stop a certain action. The consequences of non-compliance. The date and way of notice delivery and the landlord's signature in the form of certificate of service attached to the notice. How to evict a tenant in Kansas. The non-payment notice. According to the Kansas legislature, a tenant failing to pay rent after it is due should get a 3-day notice to either pay or quit before a landlord can lawfully terminate the lease. The non-compliance notice. In case of other lease violations, the Kansas legislature allows landlords to send the tenant a 30-day notice, giving the tenant 14 days to correct the issue or vacate the premises. What if the tenant fails to comply? If the tenant fails to pay rent due and associated fees or correct the violation, the landlord can file a complaint with the appropriate Kansas court. The filing fee will vary depending on the type of the court and amount of unpaid rent or damage. Then, the summons and complaint should be served on the tenant by the court no less than 3 days before the hearing date. If the tenant wants to contest an eviction, they can appear for the hearing or file a written answer with the court. If they fail to do it, the court might make a judgment in favor of the landlord by default. In case of default judgment, or if the judge rules in the landlord's favor through hearing, the court will issue a writ of restitution. The local sheriff will receive it, and they will have 14 days to forcibly remove the tenant if the latter hasn't already left the premises.